We've asked Claude and ChatGPT to predict the future for us.
The 2026 midterms becomes a fight over reality itself.
What cabinet level departure would be shocking to you?
If they go public and suddenly the money isn't there and people are not investing in it at these valuations that they think they're going to have as companies, then that could trigger some sort of a crash situation.
A fabricated video of a world leader convincing enough triggers a domestic political crisis. A congressional hearing produces classified footage that genuinely cannot be explained by any known human technology. The Pentagon doesn't deny it.
Whoa.
Live from the future, but recorded in the past. It's the Socially Awkwards podcast. I am a conundrum, and he is an anomaly, and we are the Socially Awkwards. Welcome to the pod. We're coming on strong today, Brandon. We're coming on strong. This is a good one. We have asked two different chat boxes. We've asked Claude and ChatGPT to predict the future for us for the next 2.5 years. We've asked Claude and ChatGPT to predict the rest of 2026. We've asked them to predict 2027 and predict 2028. And we are going to share those predictions today, along with some of our own thoughts on what we, what we think, if that may happen or not. Are you excited about this one?
I'm very excited. I think that AI, people are underselling AI. And I think that we need to listen to it more often. And this is our opportunity to sit down and communicate with it and really figure out what lies ahead.
Excellent. Yeah, that's well said. Well said. Brandon is not being paid by the AI companies, just in case anybody was wondering. He is not being. He would gladly accept, though, I'm assuming. Also, I think it'll be really cool. What we'll do is in the future, maybe in January of 2027, we'll come back and we'll say, hey, how are these predictions? Were they close for the rest of 2026? And then so forth. We can go back at the end of 2027, the end of 2028, and we can see how close these guys are. Although I think it'll be harder for them to be close the further out we go because a lot of things change. But so let's talk about a few of the things that we've asked these large language models to predict for us. Geopolitics, U.S. politics, AI, space, anything to do with aliens, natural disasters, science, entertainment. We've asked it all, and we are here to reveal today. You have used ChatGPT for this experiment. I have used Claude for this experiment. Of course, ChatGPT is a product of OpenAI, and Claude is a product of Anthropic. So, are we ready to get this going?
Let's go.
All right. So my first one on here is geopolitics. Do you have some things for geopolitics for the rest of 2026 that ChatGPT has predicted for you? Should we start with those?
I do have some geopolitical topics that ChatGPT has spit out to me. Most of them revolve around the Middle East. There is some other aspects too, but do you just want to start with the first one and kind of go, I'll shoot one out and then you'll shoot one out? Or
yeah, we can do that. I have three mainly for each, and I don't know if ChatGPT has done this because the fun thing about this is we have not seen each other's results of what they say. But what Claude has done for me is it says it's got a hot prediction, a bold prediction, and a wild prediction for pretty much all of these categories. So go ahead. I don't know if ChatGPT has done anything like that for you, but just go ahead and throw out the first one, whatever one you want, and then let's, see what it says.
Well, sounds good. I do have three predictions for geopolitics.
Okay.
And the first one starts off, the Middle East becomes the main global risk story again. My bold take, Iran becomes the 2026 version of the thing everyone thought was regional until oil, inflation, and U.S. elections made it global. So that's the tagline there. Yeah, let me read a little bit deeper into this. The U.S. has already launched renewed strikes on Iranian targets after Iranian attacks on Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan, and Israel/Iran have recently exchanged attacks despite ceasefire efforts. Prediction: before year end, there is at least one major, are we entering a wider war, quote unquote, week involving Iran, U.S. forces, Israel, Gulf states, oil markets, and shipping lanes. Not a full World War III, more like a nasty, unstable, expensive regional war that keeps becoming bigger. So
Wow.
that's its prediction.
All right. Well, I'll tell you this. Claude has not done that much work. It's only given me about a small paragraph of each of these. But under wild, which I'm assuming that means it's Claude's wild prediction, it actually says somewhat of the opposite of what yours says. And it says a surprise framework agreement is quietly signed between Saudi Arabia and Israel in the most seismic diplomatic shift in the Middle East in decades. So Claude is saying that there could be some peace here with a deal reached between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Now I don't know, that doesn't really have, Claude's not saying that has anything to do with Iran, but Iran is in the Middle East. And if we were to make our own little predictions here, I would say that I would go with ChatGPT's more than Claude's. I don't think
Yeah.
there's going to be any type of, just from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, I just don't think that's going to happen.
I agree. My gut tells me that ChatGPT probably has it correct, although my hope is that Claude is more correct because I think that sounds like a hopeful future, or at least for the
Yeah.
next six months.
Yeah, at least for the 6
Yeah.
months. I mean, Claude could come back crazy with something in 2027 and said, "Oh, they ripped that up, and now they're bombing each
Yeah.
other." You don't know.
Yeah.
All right, give me another one for geopolitics.
Geopolitics. Next one,
Politics.
we're going to Ukraine on this one. Ukraine.
Mm.
Ukraine does not end, it mutates. That's the bold title of this prediction here by ChatGPT. It says Russia and Ukraine will keep flirting with ceasefires, prisoner swaps, back channel diplomacy, and peace talk headlines, but the war itself becomes more asymmetric. Drones, sabotage, assassinations, refinery attacks, infrastructure hits, and cyber attacks. Ukraine linked strikes and drone attacks are already being reported inside Russia and against Russian energy infrastructure. So here's the prediction: no clean peace deal in 2026. The quote unquote ending of the war becomes a blurry mess. Partial ceasefires, violations, gray zones, continued drone warfare, and both sides claiming the other broke the deal.
You know, I would tend to agree with that. I don't see anything. I don't see Putin giving an inch, and I don't see Zelensky giving an inch. Yeah, I would agree with a lot of that. And I will say that Claude has said between the Ukraine ceasefire collapses, is what it's called. It says Ukraine ceasefire collapses once. A deal gets announced and then falls apart within weeks as frontline shift, and neither side wants to be seen blinking first. So it's not exactly the same as what yours is saying, but they're kind of saying the same lines where we think, and I think this has already happened, right? I mean, how many
Yeah.
ceasefires are we going to have between Iran and Israel, or Ukraine and Russia, and then it just becomes something else. So yeah, I would agree. I would tend to agree that I think that things are going to continue on in Ukraine and Russia. I don't think Putin wants to give up at all until he has Ukraine. And until somebody else steps in and does something, which it doesn't really look like that's going to happen, I don't know. It's just going to continue being the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds like more of the same between Ukraine and Russia. And I think that we're going to see what it feels like a stalemate, right?
Yeah.
If you play chess, a stalemate, it's where both it's where somebody can't move. There's not a winning move or a losing move. It's just sort of like you can't do anything. But in this case, it's a violent stalemate. It's like you can't do anything, but yet people are still dying and violence is still happening. And it's
Right.
unfortunate. And it's like you just kind of feel stuck. So that seems like where the AI both says we are going. And I think that I believe that as well. Yeah, I agree.
I also want to say that a stalemate is also when you've been married for 40 years and things get a little stale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
Just
that.
to say it. All right. What is the
Yeah.
last political prediction that ChatGPT has for us?
The last one, which I think is also a great one, and it's the third place that it has been in and out of the news before
Oh, is this a
with some
Taiwan one?
tensions. It certainly is a Taiwan one.
Well, Claude and ChatGPT are at least aligned on what three major things are going on.
Yeah. So here's the title. It says for ChatGPT, Taiwan does not get invaded, but we have one terrifying rehearsal. Taiwan is already running anti-invasion drills with U.S.-made HIMARS, HIMARS systems
Mm.
on its west coast,
Yeah,
simulating
those are the
rapid
pills that make you get hard.
I think
No, I
that's
think those
just
are just hymns. My
those
bad.
is HIMS, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is simulating rapid shoot and scoot strikes against a possible Chinese invasion force. So here's the prediction. China does not fully invade Taiwan in 2026, but there is a major blockade-style drill, cyber event, cable disruption, or military exercise that makes markets briefly panic.
Cable disruption.
Yeah.
Is that like HBO?
Yeah, Skinemax.
I don't
If
know if
if
they. I don't think they have Skinemax anymore. I think they
if you
ended that.
yeah,
No more hot. I think once they realized that everybody could get porn for free on
the
the
internet
internet,
got rid of
yeah,
it. Yeah.
yeah, they were just like, we don't need that anymore. Um, I feel like ChatGPT and Claude secretly worked together a little bit. Mine says Taiwan Strait flashpoint. It says China conducts its most aggressive military exercise yet around Taiwan. Not an invasion, but close enough that markets panic briefly. So
Wow. That's
not,
crazy.
yeah, isn't that
You
just
know, there
wild?
could have been a big headline because sometimes, like, do you have any, what's it called when it links back to the source? Like,
Oh, I don't know.
not
I'm not
footnotes, citations is what I'm looking for.
citations. I got you.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
have
I
I
don't
have a
see
citation
any,
with
but
Reuters on mine.
yeah, mine are all porn citations. All
Okay.
of these predictions are from Pornhub.
Okay. Yeah. You might have used the wrong Claude.
Yeah. In fact, I think I'm just on Pornhub. But either way, it's good. We're fine. It'll work. The next thing I don't I don't know what your next topic is, but the next topic I have is US politics.
That's same for me.
Okay. Okay. So Claude and Chat GPT are secretly betting each other and nobody knows about it. And so they're giving us somewhat the same stuff. All right, so U.S. politics, I've got three things. I'm assuming you've got three things. Mine has midterm momentum shifts. Mine says Democrats overperform in special elections by double digits, setting up a legitimate House takeover narrative heading into November. Now, I mean, this has kind of already been predicted. Plus, it's just notorious in the U.S. political system that during the midterms of the incumbent president, they usually lose seats. And it's always been that way, whether it's a Democrat president or a Republican president. Also, um, I know there's a lot of gerrymandering going on. I know the Supreme Court gutted some of the Civil Rights Acts to allow different states to redraw their maps that didn't have to include black representation, which kind of doesn't sit right with me. But I do believe that Democrats are going to take over the House in November. Probably a lot harder to take over the Senate, but that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah. I think that seems to be the sentiment, and that's what I agree with too. It seems like that's going to happen. My first take is very similar. Mine talks about the midterms. So I actually haven't pre-read this, which is a good point, which is like you said at the beginning of the pod that we don't know each other's
Mhm.
AI outputs.
Yeah,
But yeah, I wanted to say I barely even know my own AI output. So I'm sort of reading it live.
I
So
gotcha.
I can be
Yeah,
surprised with you. So what
yeah.
I'm seeing here, I'll just start reading it. The 2026 midterms becomes a fight over reality itself. So this is a little bit of a
Are they
different direction.
referring to AI then? Just kind of like,
Let's find out.
all right, let's do it.
The midterms are scheduled for November 3rd, 2026, with all 435 House seats and 35 Senate seats at stake. Republicans currently control both chambers. Prediction: Election night will not feel like election night. It will feel like a multi-week legitimacy war. Mail ballots, redistricting, court rulings, delays, claims of fraud, and state-by-state legal battles dominate the story. The Supreme Court and disputes over mail-in ballot rules are already shaping the election environment, and redistricting has given Republicans potential House advantages, even though Democrats only need a small gain to flip control. So what do you think about that take? That's a little bit that's not saying anything about who's winning. It says more about what the state of the elections are going to feel
It
like.
sounds like ChatGPT has been listening to our current president in the last week because he has been constantly going off about how everything is corrupt and how the elections are corrupt, and that the Democrats always cheat. Um, yeah, I mean, I get it. Like there's I'm sure there's going to be fights. There's already things going on in California right now with the primaries that have happened there in the past week. Um, I will say though that I like female ballots better, but that's just me. Female ballots, yeah, over male ballots or
Mm,
mail-in ballots, female-in ballots. I don't know.
okay.
All right.
I
Um,
in my brain I thought that was a ballet joke somehow, and
oh,
I just
yeah,
couldn't parse it. Yeah,
yeah.
that's okay.
You couldn't, I shoot, I don't know enough about ballet to make a joke. All right. I dated a ballerina once, but she was the one, if you remember, that texted me in the middle of the night, said, "Stay out of my dreams." So I don't think she was quite, all there. All right. My next one is major cabinet shakeup. This says at least two or more senior cabinet level departures before year's end, one of them genuinely shocking. Now, to me, this is not that big of a thing because Donald Trump is notorious at getting rid of people a lot of times. He's gotten rid of what, three cabinet members already? Ironically, they've all been female and he's replaced them with males. But I mean, Claude seems to think one of them is genuinely shocking. What cabinet level departure would be shocking to you? Because I really don't, unless it was Donald Trump or JD Vance themselves, I don't see why it would be shocking. I don't know why.
Yeah,
So
I get maybe it's JD. Who knows?
it could be.
That would be a little shocking. I don't know if I
Yeah.
would say shocking even, but it would
Right.
be newsworthy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right. What do you got?
So yeah, I just have one more. Mine is around immigration.
Hmm.
So here goes. ChatGPT says immigration becomes the emotional center of the midterms. Trump signed a nearly $70 billion immigration enforcement funding bill covering ICE and Border Patrol through the rest of his term. So the prediction is there will be a major immigration enforcement controversy before November that becomes one of the defining campaign moments of the midterms. It could involve deportations, protests, state resistance, viral footage, or a court clash.
Hasn't all those already happened in a sense?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is not that. I
It's
mean,
not
like
that
if
bold,
something,
Chat GPT.
it's not that bold. Yeah, and I mean, I want it to be more bold. I think that this is a lot of people could make this prediction, wouldn't you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have one here, and this one, Claude actually says this one's a wild prediction, but I've heard enough about it in the last 3, 4 months that I don't think this is that far off either. It says a justice announces retirement, triggering the most contentious confirmation battle in the Supreme Court since 2018. I don't really think that's that crazy. A lot of those guys are getting older, some of those guys, and um, if they're smart, especially if they're Republican Supreme Court nominees, they want they would want to be able to get one in while Trump was still president. So that doesn't really seem that crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, next I have AI. Do you have anything about AI on there, or did
I
ChatGPT
do.
say we don't want to talk about AI right now?
No. I have. It said nothing major here. Just keep moving along.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
what it said.
Nothing to look.
I have 3 takes for AI.
All right, so do I. You want to go first? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I'll head this one up. The first mainstream AI fired me. Panic hits before Christmas. So this sounds exciting right here. I like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Not one company, not one industry, a recognizable wave. Anthropic is publicly warning about AI labor disruption and calling for safety testing of powerful models, while Reuters reports broad public anxiety and AI linked layoffs. Here's the prediction. Before year end, a major household name company explicitly says AI allowed it to reduce headcount, and the phrase AI layoffs becomes normal dinner table language. This, I feel like, is already. Maybe it's on a small scale, but I think this has already happened, has it not? There's companies that have initiated layoffs that have specifically said that they are not. I mean, they're AI related. That being said, I could see between now and the end of the year a major company doing a more forceful, like, this is for sure AI related, like AI is replacing these jobs. Because a lot of companies have done this under the guise that we were just overbloated from tech hiring that happened during the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was that caused these companies to have their headcount, which is too many people. Um, and then also as after Trump took office, it sort of gave them a green light or carte blanche to sort of eliminate a lot of these like human resource slash like what they perceive as like DEI departments.
Yeah.
That there's probably a certain amount of people within the company, and especially if the CEO believes this, they're going to say, well, this is a great opportunity to reduce these people and not have a major governmental level backlash, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think this is that wild of a prediction, but it is interesting, and I think yeah, we're going to see something like this. So yeah, what
I
do you think?
agree. I totally agree. I will say that the only thing I don't agree with is my dinner table language is English. Yeah. I just and that could be whatever country you're from. That's, whatever language you speak, that's your dinner table language. So, um, I have first AI caused financial crisis moment. This one says an AI trading system triggers a mini flash crash bad enough that regulators finally step in with emergency rules. Ooh. I like how I said regulators, by the way.
Yeah,
Regulators. Um,
regulators. Just
regulators.
a regulator guy.
Just
I'm
a
just a
regulator guy. Um, Honestly, I don't see this happening. I think that one of the biggest concerns with AI right now is regulation. And there's not a lot of it going on. And that kind of happens when, there's a lot of competition. Whoever wants to be number one in the end wants to be number one in the end. So do you think that there's going to be any type of regulations from a mini flash crash that's bad enough to have that happen by the end of the year?
it could, but the crash that I'm looking at, by the way, do you have an economy section? Because I also have mine spit out a section that had two results just for economy.
I don't have any economy, but you
Okay.
can you can sure throw them out there. I have a feeling this is gonna take a long time, so I
Yeah,
don't know. We might
because
make this a two-parter, honestly.
sure, because I have one that is economy that is AI related, so I might throw that one out next.
Okay.
Because I think that'll be interesting. The companies are filing to go public. OpenAI, Anthropic, and SpaceX.
Oh, I got you.
So
I guess I didn't realize
yeah,
they weren't public yet.
yeah, they're not publicly traded yet. And so they want to go public, and people are saying that that could cause a situation where we could see a crash related to that, because if they go public and suddenly the money isn't there and people are not investing in it at these valuations that they think they're going to have as companies, then that could trigger some sort of a crash situation where now the AI bubble looks like even if it doesn't burst, we could see like a mini burst, and that could happen before the end of the year. I think Polymarket, which is one of these markets that like, have you heard of Polymarket? Kind of. So like, there's this thing where there's one market where it predicts who's going to go public before the end of the year, and Anthropic, which is the owner of Claude, there is has like a very high percentage right now that people think it will go public before the end of the year.
Okay.
So if that happens, it could be a tricky situation. There's multiple reasons why that could be tricky for the markets. Um, so that being said, why don't I just go right?
Would that lead to more regulation then, you think? Is that what you're
I think
like,
it
are you
could. Yeah, I think it
okay.
could. I,
Okay.
I don't know if it'll happen before the end of this year, the regulation part, though. I'm
Right,
doubtful of
right.
that. But I
Okay.
think that when the AI bubble does sort of burst, because I think there's sort of two bubbles, is how I see it. There's like the AI, the financial aspect of it is a bubble, but then the tech is not a bubble. It's a wave that's going to change society forever in the future. But the financial part's going to be catastrophic probably at some point.
Yeah. Is it safe
And
to say that the economy is just full of bubbles all the time?
that I believe that's true. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do believe it's true. So I think that when that bubble does burst, it's going to be a lot. We're going to see a bailing out, and then we're going to see lots of regulation because people want to, people want to see heads roll, and they want to point blame, and they also want to be saviors. You have politicians that want to be saviors, and one perception is to be able to make legislation or policies around that, because you want to be the one that said, I'm here to protect you, and I'm going to make policies,
Right.
so I
And
can see that.
just so people know out there, 95% of the time, they're not really there to protect you. They're there to protect their own ass.
That's
And
right.
that's
Yeah.
that's any side you're on, just so everybody knows. But all right, what do you got?
So this one's under economy, but I think it's also AI here. What I have is The AI economy creates a strange contradiction. Jobs look okay, but people feel replaceable. The U.S. labor market is still resilient, with May payrolls up 172,000 and unemployment at 4.3%, which is pretty low.
Yeah, yeah,
But Reuters slash Ipsos, LPSOS, or I,
yeah. That's what
is
I
it
always say is
is that
Ipsos.
Ipsos?
That's what I say. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not
For
exactly
some
sure.
reason, that's the first time I've read that word. So
Yeah.
Reuters slash Ipsos found 53% of Americans fear AI could put someone in their household out of work. And here's the prediction. 2026 ends with official employment numbers looking less catastrophic than public mood. The real anxiety is not, I got fired today. It is, I no longer understand my future value.
Mm. Hell,
And
man, that happened to me 20 years ago.
what's your value as a human being anymore?
Like 3 cartons of Cools.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Um, but you're a great not surveyor. What's it called when you are try different things and then give your curated opinion?
I don't know.
I was gonna say you're a great a curator of Entenmann's donuts.
Connoisseur?
Connoisseur of
I don't know.
connoisseur of Entenmann's, yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I'm a big connoisseur of a lot of different foods. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
So I don't think this is I think for sure this is the future. This is probably by the end
Yeah,
of the year, sure.
I'm gonna be honest, and it seems a little of a cop out by ChatGPT because I really feel like that people are already feeling that way. Um, if you hear a lot about, and depending on what you're watching or what social media you're on, if you're seeing things about negative AI effect on jobs, then why wouldn't you think that way? So that's kind of how I feel about it. Um, I have GPT-5 or equivalent drops. So this is from Claude talking about GPT-5 or equivalent drops, and it says a new frontier model genuinely passes the I can't tell bar with most people, and the discourse gets very strange very fast. Now, this is a little crazy because Claude is predicting that it could be a GPT-5 or something else that's equivalent, but it's not talking about the very model that it just dropped that you told me is pretty good, and that model is what?
Fable.
Fable. And I don't know if it's a I can't tell type of bar, uh, you know, model, but you certainly have already kind of hyped it up a little bit before the pod. So I mean, I don't see this as being, these models are no matter what AI thing you're using, different models are being released like all the time, right? Like we
Yeah.
talked about this with we both dabbled in Suno, the music making AI, and it seems like every 3 months they've got a new model out. So I mean, I don't really see this as a bold prediction. How Claude, because Claude put it under bold, and I'm saying I don't really think that's that bold. But how are you feeling?
Yeah, I agree with it, but I don't know what it means by GPT-5. I'm on ChatGPT and I'm using GPT 5.5 right now to generate these predictions.
Yeah, I was gonna ask because I'm like I don't know what it means either. Maybe they're taking a shot. Maybe they're like, you
Yeah.
know what, ChatGPT 5.5 is actually like ChatGPT 4.5, so you should be worried about ChatGPT 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I
That
also
could
don't
be it,
understand
yeah.
what they sell by the I can't tell bar with most people. I'm like, well, different people know different amounts about AI. So your I can't tell bar and my I can't tell bar are going to be different. And then my I can't tell bar and my dog's I can't tell bar are going to be different. So I don't really know what they mean by that.
Yeah. I also think we're surpassing the I can't tell. It depends on what you mean by I can't tell. I can't tell a video,
Yeah,
an
it's
image, a poem. Like a
right.
poem for sure. We passed that a long time
Oh,
ago.
with
Like us.
music too. Like I've made some bangers, man. Let me tell you that
Yeah.
I've made some bangers, and I'm like, wow, I love this
I have
shit.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have too.
Now,
Yeah.
all right. What do you got?
So I'm going to do one more from the AI one. And mine is AI generated entertainment has its first true scandal. Prediction before the end of 2026, there is a major controversy involving one of these: an AI voice of a dead actor, AI generated leaked celebrity video, AI music chart manipulation, AI actor used without meaningful consent.
Haven't all of these happened? I feel like all of these have already happened.
They,
Maybe except the first one.
Yeah, I feel like they have, but I mean, do they qualify as the first true scandal, would you say, or no?
I don't know. I mean, I know, like, I'm going to specifically talk about deep fake porn here because, I'm also a porn connoisseur. But it was a couple of years ago I read articles about celebrities suing companies for deep fake. So I'm like, I mean, I guess then all it was an actual porn star though with a AI face on it. Now it's probably going to be their 100% body, but AI'd.
Yeah,
And so
I would
I
agree.
actually
Yeah.
don't, I'm not even sure what's worse though. Like, wouldn't you be
Yeah.
okay with the porn star because it's not your body and all they have is their face on you? But I don't know. All right.
I don't know. And we also have AI written show exposed after pretending otherwise. So that's a possibility as
Like a
well.
show? Like a TV
Yeah, like
show?
maybe there's a TV show and it's AI is writing it. It
Oh,
could be writing the
okay.
script even.
Game of
And
Thrones was
and
written
people
by
are saying,
AI.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are saying, this kind of looks like AI slop, and you're saying no, it's not, and then it comes out later that it was, and it's a huge scandal. So that could happen. We do have a couple lines here. It says Hollywood is already under stress from consolidation, production, contraction, and AI concerns, with workers protesting proposed the proposed Paramount Skydance / Warner Brothers Discovery deal.
Yeah.
And the bold take
It's going
says
to make
this.
CNN look real weird soon
Why is that?
because Paramount is buying all that. And Paramount is Larry David Ellison, who is a MAGA supporter. So where everybody's wondering what's going to happen to CNN, which is more of a liberal news. They're wondering if it's going to become more like a Fox or a Newsmax or an OWN or whatever.
Time will tell. Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
It has a bold take tagline on this one. It says the first AI movie star won't be loved; it'll be sued.
How do you sue an AI movie star? Just the person that made it, I guess?
I don't know. I guess you have to give it personhood first,
Right. To
and
sue
then
it.
yeah.
I do agree that the first one won't be loved. But that's like with anything, right? Like you get used to it after a while and then you're like, oh, okay. Think about like the first time somebody said, go see a movie. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, you can go to this big giant theater with all these seats and you can go
I
see a
watched
movie.
I watched an AI movie about a month ago.
Was it good?
It's a creator online that does a lot of AI stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was. I'll say this: it was really interesting,
How long was it?
and I
Like,
can't
I'm sure
remember
it was like a short, right? Like it
yeah,
wasn't like,
it was under a half hour.
okay.
I'm pretty sure it was under a half hour.
All right.
But it was really interesting. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see I think the movie was called Patch Right was the name, and it was a
Okay.
like a gritty, futuristic cyberpunk,
Okay.
sort of surrealist,
So
uh,
everything was AI. So the voice was AI, all the
everything,
videos. Okay.
100% everything. Yeah,
Nice, nice. Yeah, you can do a lot of good things. You can do a lot of crazy things now. Unfortunately, like they all like if you want to get really in depth, if you want to make like a even if you want to make like a full music video, like I priced it out one time and I was like, damn man, like because you'd have to use a lot of credits because like I don't even know what the longest video clip anything's spitting out anymore. What is it like? I mean, last time I knew it was like maybe 8-10 seconds. Are they getting longer clips now available or?
I think you can get up to like 30 seconds,
Okay,
maybe
so
longer.
it's
Yeah,
getting there. I mean, it's only going to be a matter of time, right, before you put a prompt and it just pops out an hour and a half movie, and you're like,
that's right.
"Oh
Yeah.
shit!" And that will, I think, be kind of cool if you can do it on your own time and just be like, "I want to see this type of movie," and just let AI fucking do it and just see how it is, like just for your own entertainment. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I would say by 2030. I mean,
Yeah,
human prediction here. So
right. Oh, don't do
there's my
the Trump
disclaimer.
hands. Wow,
Human
do
prediction
the
here.
wow.
Uh, but wow.
Okay, that was good. Yeah,
I think that by 2030, we will have the ability to make a prompt and have a 2-hour movie get spit out.
yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be the best 2-hour movie you've ever seen, but I think it will be contextually aligned with itself, and it'll make sense. It'll have plot points,
right. And I
and
also think like
yeah.
anything else with AI, it's going to be about prompting, right? Like if you have a real big imaginative imagination and you prompt like every little detail you want to put into a movie, it's going to be much better at it. And
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I don't know if you've done this before, but I've dabbled around with script making before, being like,
yeah,
thinking
yeah,
like,
I
what would
love
it
it.
be
I would
like?
love to write a whole script. Now I'm just going to have AI do it, but I would have
You'll
loved to
have
back in the day. Yeah.
you'll have AI do it, but you'll
Right.
help direct it. You'll
Yeah,
manage
yeah.
it. And then once the script is done, you can feed that entire script into the AI movie creator, and it'll follow the script. It
Well,
won't go
yeah,
off the rails.
that'd be great. That's another thing like we talked about with AI music, because there's a lot of people that push back on AI music, but there's something about being able, like if you're a writer or a musician, we've both been musicians. You're a much better musician than me. I'm going to say that right now. I did rap, I did hip hop. I wasn't that great. I always liked writing. I always wanted to be the writer. Now on Suno Music, you can sit there and you can write your own music, and you can hear what it could have been if it was sung by somebody or been a big thing. And I feel like you can do that same with all these dreamers that were script writers who never went anywhere with it. Now they can take their whole script, put it into a AI movie generator, boom. And I think I think it's great. Think about how that'll help people's mental health. I mean, it may sound weird to people, but I don't know if you've gotten this, if you've listened to like a song that you put through Suno and you really liked it, but there's a little bit of a euphoric feeling that's coming from that. You're like, "Oh, I wrote this or whatever, and it's coming out and I love it." So I
Yeah.
think people should think about that when people are like, "Oh, they're stealing other people's work." It's like, no, a lot of them just want to see what
Yeah.
their own shit is.
And that's something that people overlook too with AI is that regardless of how fake the AI is, the emotions you get from it can still be real.
True. Yeah. It's like a blow up doll. Anyways,
Moving on.
uh, moving on. That was yours? Did you read the last one? Okay.
I did,
I
yeah.
don't actually like my last AI one here, so I'm going to move to space now. I don't know if you've got anything on space.
Yeah, let me check. I have entertainment and culture. Let me see if these. I do have space. Space exploration
The,
is what mine is titled. I
okay.
have two. I have two of them actually here.
Okay. The crazy thing is, yeah, I have actually one that's for space and I have one that's for aliens and unidentified aerial phenomena. So I will
I
guess
have a
I will.
couple. Yeah, I have a couple for alien and UAPs.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So we can mash up or
Yeah,
keep
let's
going.
mash up. Maybe I might just kind of pick and choose here and may not read three of everything here. But let me just see. Okay. Um, this says Starship reaches orbit finally. SpaceX pulls off a full orbital Starship mission, and Elon says Mars by 2028 with a straight face, is what my Claude says. I
All right.
don't think I've seen too much of, and I don't think I've seen Elon say much with a crooked face. Have you? His face is
Um.
pretty straight. I mean,
Yeah,
everybody's
it's
face is pretty straight, but yeah.
straight
But yeah,
face.
that's what mine says. What do you think? Do you think that's going to happen? I mean, the full orbital Starship mission, I'm not really sure how far there. I don't really keep up on that stuff, so I don't really know how plausible that is. Maybe you might know more than me, but
Yeah, I think that it's possible. I don't know what the current itinerary is, like the agenda for SpaceX for the rest of the year. And yours says full orbital space flight from
says
Starship.
SpaceX pulls off a full orbital Starship mission. And then it says, and Elon says Mars by 2028 with a straight face. So that's all
Yeah.
it says.
Well, it's cool. I mean, I like it. I think it could
Yeah.
happen. I don't know. I have a SpaceX one as well, and I
Do you
think I'll read
think we're
that one
going to
off.
get to Mars by 2028? Because I am a
No,
little pessimistic about that.
no,
Yeah.
no. And I think that Elon has become finally pessimistic about it too. I think I've heard him talk about. So he used to be all about Mars, and lately he has switched over to the moon finally.
Venus. Oh,
Yeah. People have, I think he's finally been convinced that the moon is a much better proof of concept for what we're trying to do in space because the moon is much closer. We don't have to, Mars we have to wait every 4 years before we can go there.
right,
The
right.
moon, we can do it basically daily,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
we don't, that's the difference. And that's why the moon might not be the best case for making humans like interplanetary and truly surviving beyond the earth. But I think that the moon is still a really great testing ground. And if something goes wrong, it's much closer. We can help out much easier. So I
I
don't see
agree
him
with
going
that.
back
I
to Mars
also
real
I
soon.
also wanted to say really quick that Elon probably doesn't want to go to Mars because that's where women are from. So I don't
Right.
know. Yeah.
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 That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What do you got?
ChatGPT says SpaceX/Starship remains both inspiring and chaotic. Prediction: the rest of 2026 will bring at least one spectacular Starship success and one spectacular Starship controversy, delay, explosion, regulatory fight, or environmental fight. And the tagline is SpaceX is turning space exploration into software development. Ship, crash, patch, repeat.
Yeah, I forgot it already. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess. Like I said, I'm not too keen on what a lot's happening with, Starship and a lot of or what SpaceX is doing or any of that. But you'd be probably more of a better informant on this than I would. But yeah. So you agree? Disagree? Agree? In the
I
middle?
agree. It's not that crazy.
It's not that crazy, right?
It's not
All
that
right, I'm
crazy.
only
Let's
gonna read one
move on.
more for my space because
Okay.
the other one just says something about the moon mission getting pushed back, and I'm like, I don't feel like that's very bold at all. Mine says China announces it landed something on the moon, and the world finds out about it via a fuzzy live stream because 4K doesn't work up in the moon.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't work.
It's not available.
It's not
Yeah.
ready available yet. Um, and I don't see that one being crazy. But all right, what do you got? You got more space or aliens, or what do you got?
Space exploration prediction. The space story of late 2026 is not humans walking dramatically on the moon. It's logistics, which means landers, payloads, rovers, contracts, private companies, power systems, communications, infrastructure, and blah, blah, blah.
I like how
Yeah.
you're just doing that. You're doing the
It's boring.
yeah, baby, don't hurt me no more. You're doing the Night at the Roxbury is what you're doing, which makes it a little bit more exciting. Yeah, I mean that doesn't seem like anything. It seems like both of our chatbots got excited about the first couple of things, and now they're starting to just be a little bit lamer. Um, I have
Aliens.
for aliens. What? What'd you
I'm
say?
ready. I'm ready for
Okay,
aliens. I said aliens.
aliens. Okay. I have. Let me read these. Maybe we should start weeding out the poor jobs here. Yeah, I don't really like that one. How about this one? A credentialed physicist or astronomer publicly states they believe one documented UAP event is genuinely unexplained by known physics. Career consequence ensue. Um, I don't know. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I haven't seen a lot of the alien files or whatever they've been releasing or whatever they call them, UFO files. Um, but I are they saying an astronomer hasn't come out and said this already? I mean, because I've heard quite a few astronomers say there's just some things we can't explain. And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, that's not really that far off.
I don't think that would cause anybody's job to be in jeopardy at this point
No,
either.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're talking like Neil deGrasse Tyson or something, who I feel like has become more and more. I feel like if you would have watched Neil deGrasse Tyson like 5 years ago, his view on aliens and UAPs was probably different. But I feel like he's just kind of coming around to that. So I don't really see why anybody would be. I mean, Nick Saban. Who am I thinking of? Who's the main astronomer from back in the day? Carl Sagan. Sorry. Um, Scientist. I don't know if he was an astronomer, but he's the only guy that like I don't know. But he's gone now, so anything would be a shock to him. But what do you got about aliens?
The first alien contact of the AI age will probably be a hoax good enough to fool half the planet for a weekend. Prediction: before 2027, there is a viral claim of alien contact, signal detection, leaked footage, or recovered craft that dominates the internet for 48 hours and then partially collapses under verification.
Wow. You know, I will say this. I say that a lot, by the way. I'm realizing that.
Well,
Um,
then say it. Just
yeah,
go ahead
I'll
and say
just
it.
say it. I'll
Yeah.
just say it.
It's a
Um,
podcast.
I feel like that UFOs. I feel like that what we've got now is for a long time they were like this cringe subject, right? Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're a fucking weirdo. You're talking about that shit." Now it's become a little bit much more normal, and people are accepting it. So now is the perfect time, right, to have some kind of AI fake go out there and everybody thinks it's real. So I could totally see that happening. How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. With where we are with aliens and where AI is, I think it's a perfect breeding ground for something to really break through, and literally for half the world to say, like, wait a minute, this might be the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell you what, not a perfect breeding ground, lava, just so people know. Yeah. No, it doesn't work out. All right. Um, this one is at least one category 5 makes US landfall. The damage bill hits a new all-time record. Simple enough and easy to believe. This is an El Nino summer. I've already read, I don't know how much you keep up to date on that, but I've already read that it's going to be extra hot. Things are crazy. Hurricane season is going to be a hotbed. So I totally could see this happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I don't think it's that crazy. I mean, I think something, what is it called? It's El Nino that we're dealing with this year, right? And
Right, right,
and um it's one of those things that I like look forward to when things get crazy. I don't want, disclaimer, I don't want people to die,
right, right.
but within my own bubble, I sort of like it when things are a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
I like, the thunderstorms when they roll through. And so I'm looking to see what happens. If the weather gets a little bit hot, muggy, or cold, or whatever it does, I'm looking forward to it. I do think there will be some craziness based on what I've heard.
Well, I will say this. um, that every time I've read about El Nino, like it's always been like we live in Michigan, and it's always been actually we're like almost least affected by it, and it also gives us usually milder winters with less snow. So we're always usually for it, but we also know that it makes a lot of the other places wet and rainy, and then other places drought, and then big hurricanes, tornadoes. So obviously we don't want that. But yeah, I completely agree with the sentiment. But what do you got?
Mine's similar. I
Okay,
have the
category 8.
next category 8.5. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. It's no big deal. It's one step higher than yours. I'm not counting. I don't know. Uh, the next great climate migration might not start with the ocean rising. It might start with people saying, I can't live through another summer here.
mm,
And so here's the prediction. The prediction is that heat becomes the disaster people stop treating like weather and start treating like infrastructure failure. Power grids, outdoor work, school sports, city planning, insurance, and migration all get pulled into it. So I think this wraps up the idea of the El Nino. It says May 2026 was the second world's hottest May on record. So that's interesting. Heat becomes like its own disaster rather than just the weather is
yeah, and
it's
that's
hot today.
and it's already a little bit of a disaster in like places that are near the equator. I've heard of like 120, 130. Obviously, everybody else does Celsius, but whatever that is in Celsius, because we're the dumb country that does Fahrenheit. But
I like Fahrenheit.
well, I mean,
I go to bat for it.
we enjoy it, but it's just obviously they measure it differently over there, so I never know like the conversion. Yeah, and this is kind of funny because we had just been talking about I don't know, last week or the week before about how Phoenix is like the I think it's the fifth largest city now. And it's crazy because a lot of times when I look at those temperatures in Arizona, in the summertime, it's like, oh my gosh, how does anybody live there? So yeah, it's interesting. I do agree that it's going to become
It's
more of
hot.
an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot.
Um, what are you, Paris Hilton now? All right. Mine says not California, but a major quake hits a city that hasn't had one in living memory, exposing how unprepared it was. Now, I will point out that ChatGPT is not, it's not just saying in the US. I mean, I guess this could be anywhere, but it is saying specifically not California. Um, yeah, I mean, earthquakes are happening. Things are getting crazy sometimes. I totally believe that. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all my natural disasters. So if you got any more, go for it.
No, I'm all set with that.
Oh, you're all set with that? All
Yeah.
right. I think my last two categories here for 2026 are entertainment and science. What do you have left? You might have more stuff.
Yeah, I have entertainment and culture, which I have one for. I also have science and I have some other like notable mentions like war and military technology and then internet and media.
Okay, so you got quite a bit there. So why don't you pick a couple out right now and let's talk about those first before I get into mine so we can kind of even this out.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to go with entertainment and culture here. This one talks about the World Cup.
Ooh,
So,
where's
yeah,
that? Is that in Canada this year?
it's
Toronto?
across, so it's a multi-country, it's like a North American thing, I believe.
Okay, so it's going to
Um
go to multiple cities.
the 2026 FIFA World Cup starts June 11th and it runs through That's tomorrow, June 11th. This is as of this recording.
Yeah. It's going to
So
be halfway
it
gone by the time somebody
well,
sees this episode.
yeah,
But
we'll be in the middle of
yeah.
the 2026 FIFA World Cup. So it starts June 11th, or
So
started
go
June
your
11th,
team.
through July 19th across U.S., Canada, and Mexico, with 48
Wow.
teams in 104 matches. The prediction is that the U.S. briefly becomes a soccer country, but the bigger story becomes heat, security, travel chaos, ticket prices, and whether North America can host a truly global event without everything becoming a culture war.
No. You know
Impossible.
what
I mean,
America loves is a good culture war, and it's unfortunate, but we do love culture wars here, and I
does
don't know
Trump
why.
show up at a FIFA game?
I don't know. He was just at the. I mean, this is different, but he was just at the NBA Finals game 2 days
Okay.
ago in New York in Madison Square Garden. Um, I mean, why not? Where? What do they say the U.S. cities that they're going to be at?
No, they didn't, but it's
Okay.
across. No, this doesn't say here.
So okay, so if there's one in a U.S. city, or I mean, I don't know how this is all working. Then maybe. I mean, I will say this. I don't remember too many presidents attending a lot of big events during their presidency, but Trump seems to not mind that. So
Yeah.
I could see him doing it.
What I have here is the 2026 FIFA World Cup features 16 host cities across Canada, Mexico, and United States. And in Canada, we have Toronto and Vancouver.
Hmm.
In Mexico, it's Guadalajara, Mexico City, and Monterrey.
Favorite place to get drugs.
There it is. I
Yeah.
mean, that's Netflix had a show there.
Hmm.
And the United States has Atlanta, Boston, Dallas, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Miami, New York/New Jersey, Philadelphia, San Francisco Bay Area, and Seattle.
Okay, if President Trump goes to one of those, I'm going to predict it's the one in Miami. He loves Florida.
Yeah.
So I think he'd go to that one. And why not? The weather's probably going to be nice, but
Yeah.
all right. What else you got on there? This is kind of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I thought a couple days ago doing a podcast? It's kind of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, we should try sometime.
We should see if people will get into that with us. All right.
I don't know. I don't know if people would like us.
I don't think people would at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest entertainment trend becomes distrust. People will watch movies, podcasts, TikToks, interviews, and scandals while asking, is this real? Is this edited? Is this AI? Is this staged?
Yeah.
Prediction. Authenticity becomes the new luxury good. Live concerts, live podcasts, real human messiness, behind the scenes footage, and no AI used labels become more valuable.
I'll tell you what. I will say this. Wait, what do I always say? I already forgot what I say.
I'll tell you this.
I'll
Wait,
tell
can
you
I say
this.
something?
I will tell you
Yeah.
this. I would love to do a live episode at one point. I don't know how many people are going to watch it. We don't have a lot of fans right now. So if you are a fan of us and you're watching, if you've gotten this far in this podcast, which is about 55 minutes in, and you've particularly like us, then, spread the word. Maybe share it a little bit, huh? Don't keep it all to yourself, you conceited bastards. But anyways, I'd love to do a live podcast. Would you like to do a live podcast, Brandon? I know we've talked about this before, but
I'm going to call it right here. Let's do an IRL stream mid-Cherry Festival.
ooh.
And, we get people on. We're walking around. We got cameras. We got mics.
Okay, at Cherry Festival. Oh, gosh.
That's
I hope
right.
you're driving.
We're on kick.com.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how that
knows?
goes, Yeah, all right. All right, do you want to name off one more before I start getting to some entertainment stuff here?
No, I want you to get
You
into it.
want me to
Yeah.
get my fair share?
Yeah, get us wet.
Get us wet. Just you put the toes in. I'm gonna baptize this shit right now. You ready? Baptize everybody right now.
Go.
This one says a track with AI generated instrumentals or vocal hits #1, and the artist is upfront about it, starting an industry meltdown. Has a track not hit #1? Probably not.
I don't know. I don't think so. And you know what? I believe that. That's coming very soon.
Yeah.
And
I
it
hope
could
it's
come
my
this year.
track or your track, or maybe we'll do a collab.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
It'll probably be will it be by a known artist or by somebody new, brand new?
That's the question. Yeah, because this isn't specifying. It just says the artist is upfront about it. I do wonder because I am seeing more and more articles about how the music industry is getting a lot more cozier. Like they're getting better with this before they wanted to sue the shit out of everybody, right? And I think there still are. I think there's ones that sued Suno and they sued Udio. Um, but so who knows? I wouldn't be surprised if it was just if there was just a music company that we already heard of that was behind it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it was just some random person. So that's how I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Could be either. Could be
Yeah.
one of us.
It could
Watch
be.
out.
Those were the options. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe an alien will come down and help us,
Mm.
and it'll be like an alien-aided track.
Yes, it would be. Yeah, it'd be like an alien aided me into doing this. Yeah.
Who knows?
But until then, I will continue to feel alienated. All right. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Do you want to get into a little bit of science here?
Yeah, I got some science.
Okay.
I can hit you with some science. Go ahead. You hit me with some science first, though. What do you got? I hope it's some kind of new thing of photosynthesis, or maybe something to do with
What I
osmosis.
have, I think mine's a little bit general, but I'll say it. I think it's interesting, and we should talk just a little bit about the ramifications of this. The next Einstein might be a team of 5 scientists and a model that never sleeps. And I'm not talking about
Supermodel, no supermodel here.
I'm not talking about Heidi Klum. I'm talking about an
you had
AI
me
model.
until you said that.
Yes, AI becomes a real scientific collaborator. The prediction is by the end of 2026, there will be at least one major AI helped discover/design this breakthrough in medicine, materials, math, or biology that normal people actually hear about. OpenAI already says that GPT 5.5 shows major improvement in scientific data analysis and bioinformatics style tasks and describes internal work where GPT 5.5
I think AI is just making up words now.
Yeah, there's also another word here. The variant helped discover new proof in combinatorics.
Combinatorics? I don't know.
AI we're going to have a real breakthrough, and people are going to say it's because AI helped.
I was going to say, could you repeat that in layman's terms, please?
Yeah, let me summate this.
Yes, summate it good.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little excited there.
Moving on, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm for it.
Hit me with your science. I'm for it too. Of course, I'm for it.
All right.
It's going to happen. I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm for it as well. Here I go. Alzheimer's drug breakthrough. A phase 3 trial result lands that genuinely promising, not a cure, but the first thing that actually slows progression meaningfully in broad populations. First of all, I don't think that's far off. I've every once in a while I read some medical journals and things like that. I watch myself from Dr. Mike and get informed, if you know what I'm saying. Plus, I would love this. I would love if we could start getting back to trying to cure things and stop the whole vaccine, anti-vaccine debate and just get back to the basics. Let's start trying to cure diseases rather than just curate diseases. Oh, just made that up on the spot, even though I'm not sure if it makes sense, but go ahead.
Yeah. It's kind of like gain-of-function research versus
Kilometer, Klonopins, chlamydia research. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's like exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have more science?
Well, I have an ad break, and then we'll get into some more science. How about that? All right.
Sounds great.
You know what? It's time for some fake sponsors, Brandon. Are you ready? I know you were about to do the thing, but I don't have the media in front of me, so I'm going to do it. You want to do it right now? Go ahead and try to do it for me.
It's a pop quiz.
Okay. You've always got that one in your head. I forgot. All right.
Yeah.
It's like me in Lunch Lady Land. Hoagies and grinders. All right. We are fake sponsored by Tall Man Shorts. Tall Man Shorts. We're just short man pants. We are also fake sponsored by Comfort Living. Oh, you know what? That was supposed to be Comfort Living. Let's totally different thing. Moving on. We are also fake sponsored by Matt. Walk on me, wrestle on me, tumble on me, because I'm just a thick and tangled mass. We are also fake sponsored by Brandon. There may be a million Brandons out there, but there's only one Brandon. Back to you, Brandon. All right.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I like tall man shorts.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Tall
Yeah.
man shorts. Yeah. Just short
Short
man
man
pants.
pants.
Yeah.
Short man pants sounds like somebody like that was my professor or something.
Yeah. Short
Yeah.
man pants.
Did you work with short man pants? No, I was over with tall man shorts.
Yeah. Yeah. We were biocoding rabbit semen. All right. More science? You want to hear about more science predictions for
I
2026?
do. I do.
Nuclear fusion milestone. Now, I just recently watched Neil deGrasse Tyson and a couple other people interview a nuclear physicist. What do they call them? Nuclear physicists? Was that the word?
Good
And
enough.
she was talking about fusion a little bit, and it was kind of interesting because we had talked about nuclear power recently. It says a private fusion company announces it has achieved net energy gain in a repeatable commercial scale setting. The stock market reacts wildly. Yeah.
I would love to see that.
I would too. I think it's
Yeah.
a big thing. I like it. I used to be not I was uninformed about nuclear power. And we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, and then I got a little bit more informed in it, and I'll tell you what, I'm for it. For it, bro. I'm for it. Let's do
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm waiting for that moment where they say they have real energy out. Energy out is greater than energy in.
Yeah.
And that is a
And for
because
people
until
that
we hit
don't
that
know,
point,
that just means that the energy output is greater than the energy they're putting input.
that's right. We don't want to be too cryptic here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I appreciate you
Yeah.
explaining that.
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting for.
I like it.
I think it's gonna happen soon, and I really hope it does because we need something like that that is a genuine piece of hopeful something to be hopeful about in the future. Because if we extrapolate forward from that point, we can imagine a future now where we have basically infinite energy as far as we have. I mean, depending on how these things work, but near infinite energy as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
If we can just
Yeah.
push this technology forward.
I think I wasn't being jokingly, I was being jokingly, but I do sincerely am for nuclear power now after just and listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson, I think he's a little against it because the worst thing he could do is call it what he calls it, and he literally calls it nuke. And then he'll say nukes. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
come on. You can't people hear that and they think of totally different thing. So, all right, what do you got?
I have some stuff that's a little more military leaning here. Cheap drones become more strategically important than expensive jets. And I think we're already seeing this.
Yeah.
The weapon of the future is not the Death Star, it's a lawnmower with a camera and a bomb. So that kind of sounds interesting.
All right. Are those
Let
like
me read it.
readily purchasable for like public consumers or
Yeah, $4.99 mows your grass and discombobulates
right, right.
all in one.
You can kill
Prediction.
the kid mowing your lawn so you don't have to pay him the $10 when he's done.
That's right. Why mow your grass when you can blow it to smithereens?
Right, right.
Prediction in 2026, 2026 locks in the lesson that future warfare is not just stealth bombers and aircraft carriers, it is cheap drone swarms, electronic warfare, AI targeting, bomb or mobile launchers, decoys, and small teams destroying expensive systems. Ukraine, Taiwan, and the Middle East are all pointing in the same direction: mobility, cheap precision, asymmetric defense, and constant surveillance. So I don't think any of this is another one of those takes where it's like we're already here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no surprise. There's nothing here that's going to make anybody show a surprise face, but it is just nice to read it off because it's something to be aware of. This is where we already are, and it's where we're headed, and we're going deeper in that direction. What do you think?
I totally agree. I mean, surveillance and things like that. We had talked about before when we did the Doomsday AI takeover podcast that was one of the things that I think was both worrisome to both of us is the surveillance and using things to kind of skirt around your rights and things like that. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that now, and I hope that it doesn't get too crazy. But I guess we'll see. I'm going to be on to 2027 soon, so if there's anything, in fact, that'll be what I'm reading next. So if you got anything else for 2026,
That's perfect. I just wrapped up my 2026. I was going to tell you the same thing.
Excellent. You wrapped it up and you
That's
you
right.
mailed it out and it's out
Double
there
bagged.
in the
Double
world.
bagged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
double bagged it. Double bagged it because she was a 4. All right. Let's talk about I guess we'll go with I have some geopolitics here first again. So this is so for anybody following along, we are now into the 2027 predictions from AI. So I will start. It's got some things here about now it's labeling some regions. So I've got 3 things for Europe and Russia, 3 things for Asia and China, and a couple of things for the Middle East and beyond, which is the same beyond that's in Bed and Bath, I believe. Um, all right. Ukraine. By 2027, the front lines are mostly static, not like the ones you see on your TV screen when you can't get your cable, but, things just aren't going to be moving that much. It's not peace. It's not war. It's an uncomfortable freeze that nobody wants to call a ceasefire. Yeah, I don't know. I could order the Little Ceasefire pizza from Little Caesars.
Yeah, that might be good.
Yeah. I don't have anything for that. I don't think that. I mean, that's not really much of anything. I probably should have read it first, but go ahead. What do you got? I
Whoa.
made it sound so important. Oh God, the
Boy, man, I
Ukraine.
am
Yeah,
blown away right now.
yeah,
Clip it. Clip it and ship it.
yeah. Double
Yeah.
bag it. All
Well,
right.
I might have the same thing. Double bag it. That's going to be I'm going to make that my catchphrase if you
I
don't
like it.
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do that, man, and then I'll have a full video of like all the double baguettes you say.
Double bag it. So I have 3 different geopolitical ones. But I want to touch on ones that I think they're the most interesting. This one is a little bit out of
Only
the
touch
box
it with
here.
its consent, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. If France breaks politically, Europe doesn't just get a new president, it gets a new psychological weather system.
I'm already
What does that
confused.
mean?
I'm already
What is
confused.
that?
Wait a
What does
minute. Are
that
they
mean?
saying that France is the president of Europe?
Let's find out. Let's dig into
All
it.
right. Yeah. Let's see what it gave up. I think it's just given up now.
France's next presidential election is in 2027.
Okay.
And Emmanuel Macron cannot run for a 3rd consecutive term.
Oh, okay.
The
All right.
French government says the next presidential election will take place in 2027. Le Monde notes the first round is likely in April 2027 under constitutional timing rules. I hope I
Okay.
said that name correctly,
But
but I
yeah,
got more
you
here.
probably butchered it.
This matters because France is not just another country, it is a nuclear power, a permanent UN Security Council member, an EU anchor,
Ew.
and one of the symbolic centers of liberal Europe.
Yeah.
So
But yeah,
the bold,
Macron is I think it's like Macron or I don't even know. Like I don't know how the French people say it, but he's more of
yeah,
I think a more of a progressive, right? I think.
yeah,
Okay.
opposed by Tortellini, but
What?
they're battling it out to see which goes soft
All
first.
right. All right. All
The
right.
2027 French election may be the most important Western election between the 2026 U.S. midterms and the 2028 U.S. presidential race.
Mhm.
So this could be something to look out for. What do you think? France? Is this on your
Man,
map
I
at all?
am so invested in what France does. It affects my life 100% of the time, all the time. So
Yeah.
I am very invested in this. No, obviously, no offense to France. I mean, obviously, yeah, there could be anything that affects anything. You just never know. But yeah, I mean, I didn't know their election was going to be that soon. But yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. Mm.
Yeah, I did not have that on my radar whatsoever, but yeah, just reading that little blurb about it makes me wonder if there's something there to look out for more.
Yeah,
Because I hadn't considered that.
maybe ChatGPT is getting us now onto France politics, and maybe like 6 months from now we're going to be like, hey guys, we're having an episode on French politics, and people are going to be like, what the fuck? But hey,
Yeah.
it'll be good.
I'm already ready to move on from geopolitics if you are.
Okay. Yeah, I
Because
am.
my socks were not getting blown off
No,
from what I was
no,
reading.
no. The only time my socks were blown off was
Yeah.
Hiroshima. All right, what do you got?
Well, as far as subjects, I have more AI stuff.
Yeah, let's go to that because that's my next one. So let's see what we've got.
Okay.
I've got AI and tech. So you kind of scan and I'll scan and we'll see We'll see if any of this works.
Okay, so I'm going to read this one. I think this is not going to be that crazy, but I'm going to read it because it affects the kind of work that I do more centrally.
Okay.
And so it is interesting to me. AI may not replace the expert first, it replaces the apprentice. And then society has to explain where future experts come from.
Mm, that's interesting.
Companies may not immediately fire every worker. Instead, they hire fewer juniors, expecting small teams to do more. They replace entry-level tasks with AI workflows and redefine entry-level to mean already capable of managing AI systems. Anthropic's own labor market research says there is limited evidence so far that AI has affected employment broadly, but it also built measurement systems to track that impact over time. Meanwhile, the World Economic Forum estimates that job disruption will affect 22% of jobs by 2030, with both large displacement and large job creation expected. So the center of this take is the first major AI labor crisis will not be mass unemployment, it will be career ladder collapse. And this actually, the more I think about this is interesting because people are thinking about mass unemployment, but I see this in my own field, and I'm basically a software developer, but I work with internet technology,
Conquering
websites.
salesman. Yeah.
That's okay, sure.
Yeah.
And so what we're seeing is that we have this concept of juniors, and the juniors are the people that are new to the job that have learned what they need to learn in college or on their own, but they're not used to working in a professional atmosphere, and they're not used to working with teams of people underneath them and things like that. So you start off as a junior, and then you work your way up. You become a mid-level developer, and then you become a senior developer usually, and then maybe above that you get into like maybe some other roles above that, management. So this is the ladder. This is the career ladder.
Right.
And I do think we are going to see what it describes as career ladder collapse. So it's like, how do you get into these jobs when the juniors, the entry level people, those are the ones where AI takes their jobs because AI can do it great. So now everybody has to be either the guy at the top or you just can't break in. And
Right.
it's like, I'm not sure what happens there.
How long will that period be, though, you think? Like, will that be a significant period before it just eliminates the people at the top too? Or,
I think for a long time, we're going to see a tail end of people at the top,
yeah,
possibly even 10 to 20 years. But I
yeah,
think it's going to start to see what we explain to ourselves as more class division.
yeah. It's unfortunate.
And yeah, I think that people at the bottom that want to go through that ladder, I think they will have to be more entrepreneurial and start at the top of something really small rather than start at the bottom of something big.
Yeah,
And that's what it's going to have to look like.
yeah. Yeah, that's rough, man. I mean, in a way, like I remember like hearing about AI going to take our jobs. AI is going to take your job. In like the way that people would present it, or an article that I would read would present it, or something. It would be like so fast, like it would be happening like so fast. But I mean, I know you're right. Like this is a process. It's not going to just be like by 2030, all the jobs are going to be taken over by AI. It is a process, and yeah, I mean, I would assume that like maybe, like, what? I know that a lot of them say that about 90% of the jobs will eventually be taken by AI. If I had to give that a year, and, I mean, you'd probably be better at guessing than I would, but I would probably say, I don't know, that might not happen until, like we might not reach, like, the 90% or whatever until, like, 2050. I don't know.
Yeah,
So, I
I
still
agree.
think it's
Yeah.
a little ways off, but
I do think people are underestimating because AI is mostly it's knowledge based. It's text. It's like information. It's data.
yeah.
I think people are underestimating the wave of robotics we're going to see over the next 10 years, and that's when you start seeing plumbers. That's when you start seeing electricians, carpenters, and people like they start going, oh, like my job could be in jeopardy
Right.
because we're gonna see some really interesting stuff.
Because eventually you're just gonna get a robot that you can have at your house and that can fix all the maintenance issues that you
Yeah,
have.
and in the short term, it's gonna look really nasty when people are like, "What do I do? I've been a roofer for my whole life."
Right.
But then I think in 100 years, we're gonna have an alternate perspective
He could become a ceilinger.
where, I think in the far future, we're gonna look back at roofing as a barbaric thing that we used to do. Like humans
Oh,
used to
right. Yeah.
do that. They used to have to do that.
Right.
And we're so grateful that we
Like
don't do
we're
that
always
anymore.
like, wow, those cavemen had to go and club like something and kill it
Yeah,
and
like I think about like medical advancements where I'm like humans used to have to get their legs sawed off with like no anesthetic, no
yeah,
anesthesia,
Hostile.
no
Yeah,
general.
I've seen that movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Saw
Yeah, like
one,
Saw,
two, three, four,
right.
five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10.
Yeah.
So I humans used to have to do this, and it's like I think it's probably a good thing they don't have to do that, and they probably even in their time when they were like, hey, now we can knock you out. That was
Oh,
probably a good thing. But I
yeah.
think there are examples of that where um what could that be? Like humans used to what are something that humans used to do that we don't have to do anymore? That at the time, I mean, I know that the classic example is horses and cars.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
cars were on the scene, I'm sure that people were
Anything
like,
from the
"What?"
industrial age, like, it's always feared first. Just
Yeah,
as a lot of people are fearing AI. It's like it's still the same thing, it's just a different, outcome that's gonna happen, but
yeah.
yeah. Um, what do I have here? I have an AI system refuses a direct order and is right. A deployed AI agent declines to execute all human being. No, it doesn't say that. A deployed AI agent declines to execute an instruction, cites an ethical concern, and its reasoning is later vindicated. Why am I reading words like this? Philosophical panic is immediate. Yeah, I don't see, that's not anything too crazy, but
That's cool though. That's cool. I think that's a cool thing that will happen
it
because
needs
it
to happen. I think that will actually make people a little bit more at ease as
yeah,
well.
because humans have a hubris where we think that we have a monopoly on true philosophy, and that's a really great point that AI might be able to surpass us in its in philosophy. It might be able to say, "Hey, this is going to lead to ultimate human harm, much greater than you
Right.
are assessing with your human mind," and then we follow it up and we're like, "Actually, you're right."
The
And
Yeah,
yeah,
I do like that. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but if you have more to say, go for it.
I'm done.
Oh,
No,
okay,
I'm
my
done.
bad. I was
Double
just
bag
gonna
it.
say that it's not saying, it says it's the reasoning is later vindicated. Now, the problem that I foresee is that we're not getting like, it could be like 100 years later vindicated. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
especially there's going to be a lot of human pushback if AI, like, what if AI, like, and I'm sure even if you type this in AI, most would say that, but what if AI came back and just said, if you don't fix climate change right now, you're all going to die in 100 years? There's going to be like millions and millions of people that are going to be like, haha, no, I don't believe you. Right. So
Yeah.
there is, I do, there's always going to be pushback, I guess. But
Yeah.
all right. What else you got? I got economy. Economy. Someone stabbed me, bro. I did not get a lot of sleep last night. Fuck, I am reading words all weird. Uh,
Economy
I yeah, I have salty. No, I have economy and labor. Um,
is the next one.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go on to economy.
All right. Go ahead. What you got? You got anything good? I mean, but I'll just point out that one of mine says 20% of white collar jobs are AI assisted to the point of elimination. And that's not really much different than when you had just said a few minutes ago on one of your predictions. So I'm going to
Yeah.
get by that one.
Yeah, I have two of them here under economy, and they both have the same vibe. I'll read one off just so we can throw it out there. The spreadsheet says you're fine. Your bank account says you're being hunted. What does it mean? Let's dive
Uh,
in.
yeah, dive into that.
The official numbers may not scream depression. The IMF projects global growth around 3.2% in 2027 under limited conflict assumptions, while the World Bank expects China's growth to slow to 4.2% in 2027. But ordinary people may still feel trapped by housing costs, debt, insurance, childcare, groceries, energy prices, job insecurity.
Mm.
So here's the bold
I'm
take in
stressing out
2020.
now. Jeez.
I know. I know.
All
In
those words.
2027, the economy will be statistically okay and emotionally terrible. And that is no surprise. We already feel that way right now. So 2027 is
I don't
more
know
of the
when the last
same.
time I was emotionally not terrible. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a
Yeah, I
lot of
think the
things.
economy, you could a lot of things you could say about the economy right now sort of feels that way about dating, I feel like.
Well, yeah,
Like
definitely.
statistically, it's happening, but emotionally, it just feels like it's not.
Right.
What does that mean?
Right. Well, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, it's happening, but I hear a lot about like relationships more than I feel like I've ever had in the past. But social media is also not helping us with that, right? Because we see it all the time. And then, and so you could get a view of how relationships are doing as a whole just by viewing a few videos and being like, oh, it's either really good or really bad. So I don't know.
Yeah, and there's a lot of this interesting like men versus women thing that is
Right.
just
Yeah.
everywhere
Gender
constantly.
war.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what men are better at? Okay. Let's go to props to the women out there. Um, I have AI regulation war breaks out. This gives me a good vibrate. Is that how you say it? A good vibrator? Gives me a good vibrator sensation. The US and the EU's approaches diverge so sharply that companies have to choose jurisdictions. A regulatory Cold War fractures the global AI market. Ooh, for warm wars. But what do you think?
Luke.
I'm your father? Okay.
No, I was gonna
Okay.
say I prefer a lukewarm war, but
Lukewarm. Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I mean, they're not really saying which side each of these people would be on. But I will say that if you're talking about the current administration, I do feel like they don't really they're not really talking about regulation or anything right now, and I don't think they really care about it.
Yeah.
So
I
maybe the
think
EU
regulation
does. Yeah.
yeah, I think regulation is coming.
Right.
It's coming and it will
Yeah.
have and if it's not done right, it's tricky because we're scared of AI, but also I don't want regulation to hurt AI in ways where it's like sometimes government is known to do that, right? They'll do the right thing the wrong way or something
But
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so that's what I worry about with AI is that
I think
they'll
you just
say like,
defined government, by the way. That was
yeah,
like the general definition. Yeah.
yeah. And so like one example with regulation that I've already been worried about is they'll make a regulation that AI needs to be certified. And but the problem with that is that now the average person can't go and create their own little AI because they can't afford the certification process. They're not a
Yeah.
big enough company. And so now all you have is these massive conglomerate, these like monopolies and duopolies and companies that are sit at the top that are giant that can handle the certification. And they're also lobbying the government because they can pay for the lobbying, you know, and some guy in his garage is now priced out of being able to compete
Right.
because there's red tape and certification processes. So that would be like, I understand what they're doing, but I don't like the way that they did it. And so that's what I worry about with the government regulation and AI.
I agree with you 100%. By the way, is duopoly a word?
It is a word. Yeah. It's a monopoly but
Multiple? Okay.
I think two, I think
If
just
you would have
two,
told me that word out of context, I probably would have been like, is it like two people singing,
two people singing.
buying a
Yeah.
business together?
Uh, there's like a popular duopoly example, I think is like Pepsi and Coke,
Mm.
where they basically control most of the soda market between
And a
them.
lot of foods too. I don't think a lot of people realize how much shit they
A lot of
actually
snacks.
make. Yeah.
Yeah. Visa and MasterCard.
Mm.
Google's Android and Apple's iOS.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
duopoly.
Matt and Brandon.
Yep. Matt and Brandon. That's a duopoly.
Yeah.
Nobody else allowed. So what duopolies do is they actually benefit. Like Coke doesn't. If Coke is smart, they don't want Pepsi to go away
Cocaine and
because
heroin would also be another one. But go ahead.
yeah. Well, where's Fent?
Oh, I don't know. Around the corner, next to amphetamine, probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That makes
They make
sense.
their
Yeah.
own duopoly, I guess. It's a different type of drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one common aspect of duopolies is that, from how I understand it, is that they operate similar to monopolies in a sense, where they have practices that they will use to squeeze everybody else out of the market,
Mm.
and they sort of like that the other person's there because, like I said, like if Pepsi went under and Coke was there, it would sort of create a void in the market where you'd think like, won't Coke just absorb the rest of it? but they might not. It might be there might be this fractured thing where now other companies can come in. Also, I think a duopoly is sort of insulated from the government calling it a monopoly and breaking it up forcefully, and so they sort of protect themselves against that a little bit. So yeah, duopoly is
Duopoly,
a
love it, love it.
yeah.
All right.
It's a new board game where two people play at once,
Ooh,
and
okay. Didn't you just
you have to
describe
buy.
Monopoly? You mean at once, like they both roll and move at the same time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and I don't know. I don't know the
They both
rules.
share boardwalk? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I have one for security and disinformation. It says a fabricated video of a world leader convincing enough triggers a domestic political crisis, not in the US, somewhere with weaker institutions. The template is terrifying.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh. Who's it going to
That's
be? Who
exciting.
do you think? Um, I don't know too many of the leaders. I should probably brush up on that.
I think it's going to be a country that is relatively. Do you think it'd be one that's more free or one that's more like that tries to be more controlling over its
Well,
media?
I also think, yeah, but I also think that we don't have 100% of the information. I mean, obviously, we know what China does, but we don't have a lot of the information for a lot of these countries, right? So even if our government tells us that they're free or not free, we don't, I don't think we still have enough information on, unless you live there, you truly don't ever really know, right? Like what kind of system you're living under.
Yeah.
You can describe it however you want. It doesn't mean, but yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe it's Canada. Maybe it's Mark Carney in Canada. Maybe it's the girl down in Mexico who's making universal health care a thing in Mexico. Um, or maybe that was AI. I don't know. Maybe it could be anybody. Yeah. I mean, maybe
I
it's
think it could be
Putin.
Canada.
Maybe it's
I'm gonna
Zelensky.
say it's Canada.
Oh, but I like Canada. Never been there, but I love you, Canada. I just keep saying that so that way when shit like hits the fan here in the US, I got an easy out. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, we remember you from your podcast, eh?" Yeah.
Shout out 2026 World Cup,
Yeah. Toronto,
Canada.
Vancouver. All right. What do we got next? I've got some space stuff. You got any space stuff? You want to talk about some space?
Yeah, I got some space stuff. Is it my turn to go next?
It
I
is your
forgot who
turn.
just read. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Roman Space Telescope becomes the space nerd story of 2027. You have anything about this Roman Space Telescope?
No, is it from 300 BC?
Well, it was built by the Greeks, oddly enough.
Okay.
No, but here's what it is. NASA says that the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope will have a
Shout
field
out
of view.
Nancy Grace.
Let's go, raise the roof.
Yeah, Nancy.
Double bag it, toe
Oh.
tag it, send it off in a taxi. The space telescope will have a field of view at least 100 times larger than Hubble's and could measure light from a billion galaxies over its lifetime. If launched and operating as expected, 2027 could be full of early Roman excitement. I don't think we're talking about the
No.
Empire.
Yeah.
We're talking dark energy, galaxy surveys, exoplanet, microlensing. What the hell is that? We'll talk about that
Okay.
in the next podcast, maybe. And giant data releases. So the bold take here is that James Webb gave us cosmic beauty. Roman may give us, or it gave us, it had gotten us
Yeah.
cosmic
If
scale.
this was the future, then it gave us, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Um,
It-
yeah, I like that. You know what? I'm even go a step further and say I like that a lot. I like that
Well,
so
that's
much
wild.
that I'll rubber stamp it. I don't know. I'm trying something new too, I guess. I don't know.
Rubber stamp.
Yeah. I'll,
Okay.
I'll rubber stamp that shit, man.
That's
Mallet,
okay.
double
Yeah.
bag it. Oh, wait. Sorry. That's yours. My bad. I feel like I just kind of went onto your old theme. So I'll think of something else down the line. But yeah, I like that. How about you? You like that?
I love it,
It's,
actually.
yeah.
I had no idea this was going to be a thing, and now I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. So should we just finish up what are we at right now? Our space predictions, and then we'll hit the rest of this on the next podcast.
Let's do it.
All
I
right.
love it.
All
Yeah.
right. So mine has China lands on the moon first. In the wildest timeline, China beats the U.S. back to the moon. The geopolitical and cultural whiplash is unlike anything since Sputnik. Sorry, I went a little Al Gore there for a minute. Um, what do you think would happen if China beat us to the moon again? Like if China went to the moon before we are scheduled to go to again?
I think it'd be fine. I don't think anybody would actually care that
I
much.
know. I feel like it's being like, oh my god, China. I feel like that some people will be like, "Oh man, that sucks." But I don't think it's gonna, like, go crazy. They're saying the geopolitical and cultural whiplash is unlike anything since Sputnik. Well, I wasn't around for Sputnik, but I really don't think it's gonna be that bad. Alright, what do you got?
Mine is a little bit. It's going to the moon, but it's not about China. It's about. It's a little bit. It's like bittersweet here. So here's the prediction: the new space race is not flags and footprints. It is docking tests, contracts, delays, payloads, and billionaires
Boring.
arguing with
Yeah,
launch windows.
jeez.
Is there a big stamp graphic you're going to put over the entire
Maybe,
pod when you say that?
maybe I might.
Boring.
Because it's like, you can't say it's not about flags and steps and then go to, like, something worse than that.
Yeah. NASA says Artemis 3 is scheduled for 2027 as a crewed demonstration mission in low Earth orbit to test systems needed for future lunar landings. While Artemis 4 is now described as the first planned crewed mission to the lunar South Pole in 2028.
Mm,
So, what that means is that the public may feel some disappointment, thinking to themselves, wait, I thought we were going back to the moon.
okay.
2027, they think that there's going to be enough miscommunication about what we're doing where people are going to feel sort of dismayed. They're going to think we're going to the moon, but in reality, we're just doing a bunch of tests
Oh,
and
I
saying we're
gotcha.
getting ready to go to the moon.
Right, right.
So,
We have to take the moon's temperature, check its heartbeat, blood pressure. We have to make sure the moon is ready for us. Um,
yep.
and then we make a beautiful moon baby, moon earth baby that we throw up into the sky and we all worship.
Yes,
So
sir.
that'll be
I
the
don't think, yeah, I don't think that, as far as space is concerned, this might fall under technology and maybe I'll cover it next time. But there is something about about space as far as 2027 might not see like a big lunar exploration kind of moment for us.
right.
But I think we are going to see space in combination with technology continue to advance a lot. And so that's something I'm excited for to see what we do there.
What if a
I know
space
we're,
like a rocket ship like collided with Falcor from the Neverending Story? Would that be news?
we just heard him yelling
Yeah, yeah.
with
And
that growl that he
what was
does.
the kid's name? The main character, Atreyu.
Atreyu.
Yeah,
What was
Atreyu.
the name? I thought Atreyu was the name he says.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think that's probably just a name for him being in the story, but I don't really know what his main character name is. But that's too bad. If anybody wants to go out there, watch the Neverending Story and report back to us and let us know what we just asked
What's the name?
of
Yeah.
the kid. Um, all right, I have one more here. UAP disclosure goes further than expected. A congressional hearing produces classified footage that genuinely cannot be explained by any known human technology. The Pentagon doesn't deny it. That's new.
Whoa.
I like how you just went full Joey Lawrence, by the way.
Whoa. That's very similar to the last one you read about the end of 2026,
I
where
realize
an
that, yeah.
individual would say,
Claude's just
I mean,
repeating. It's copy and
it's
pasting now. It's
it's a layup for AI to be like, guess what? It reminds me of astrology when people say, I'm seeing that somebody hurt you in your past once
right,
and you're
right.
still feeling some sort of way about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And you're like, "Hey, bitch,
that's
like
that's it.
40 people hurt me, and everybody knows
Yeah.
that. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's been hurt." Yeah, that is crazy. Um, any last words on this? Because I want to let everybody know that we are about halfway through the 2027 prediction. So we will have a part two to this episode, and it'll be the rest of the 2027 predictions and the 2028 predictions from both Claude and ChatGPT. Brandon, do you have any closing arguments that you would like to say as the attorney present in this podcast?
I say double bag it.
Double bag it. I say rubber stamp it. Double bag it. Put it in the bag in the back of a taxi. Send it off. Um,
Destroy me, deport me.
Yeah. Destroy me. Destroy me, then deport me.
Yeah. But you'll make it back when?
God, I forgot actually.
In
Make
a heartbeat.
Yeah, in a heartbeat,
Sharply.
in a heartbeat. Man, I think you listened to that song more recently than I
I've
have.
I've listened to it so many times though, those words.
Yeah, yeah,
A lot of the words
yeah.
they're in my head. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's been another great episode. Tell us what you think about some of these AI predictions. We will continue on with them next week. So until then, everybody have a great week and we'll see you next time.
Bye.